This is News 13 at 11.
Happening right now, you're taking a live look at protesters in downtown Asheville. As you just heard, there were explosions in the last 30 minutes when police fired tear gas at demonstrators when someone apparently started shooting off fireworks. Tonight's local protests are again part of the larger nationwide movement following the death of George Floyd last week.
Tonight, we're keeping you up to date and aware of everything that's happening right now. News 13's Frank Crocker and Caitlin Penner are both downtown at this hour, where demonstrators have clashed with police.
Frank, we'll start with you. You covered last night's protest. How does it compare to what's happening tonight?
We have had to move well away from the Asheville Police Department. There are people running up the street at this point. There have been some flash bombs go off. We do not think it's tear gas at this point. We don't know whether it's coming from protesters or from the police. This has been a very active night, a very angry night. We've got some video we'd like to show you from earlier on. There were some things thrown at the police. We don't know what they were, and then at some point that just got the police to just start firing tear gas. They fired tear gas into the crowd. The crowd scrambled, and they're still coming up the street. They're still coming up the street now. We're smelling tear gas, getting it in our eyes. It's an intense situation here, and rubber bullets were fired. Quite a few rubber bullets to try to get the crowd to move back. I can give you a look at one of those, what they look like. That red and white ball is a rubber bullet, and the police were using that. It's almost rapid fire to get people to back off. There were several. You're hearing the flash bomb grenade device. We don't know what it is. We're a block and a half away from the police department, and we're not seeing any of this. We're now hearing it. People obviously on their way, on the move away from APD down toward I-240. We don't know if that means anything, but we're just going to stick right here. Oh. We're just getting a really...
And more of our News 13 team coverage right now from downtown Asheville. Caitlin Penner is standing by live in Pritchard Park. And Caitlin, pretty chaotic there. What's it like where you are?
I don't know if you can hear that, but that is coming from some kind of overhead intercom system. We're also hearing some small explosions. If you look up ahead, you can actually see some kind of smoke right in front of here in the Asheville Fire and Asheville Police Station. We have been up this street a little bit tonight, but every time we move up, especially in the last 30 minutes, that was some kind of large firework. In the last 30 minutes, every time that we have moved up this street, there has been more what seems like a firework explosion coming from in front here of the Asheville Police Station. I'm going to look down this street here to see if we can show you anything. People are running. Something was just fired right here. Okay. But yes, some kind of significant fireworks have been thrown in this direction, at least for the last 45 minutes here at the Asheville Police Station, and we will continue to keep you covered with what is going on here in downtown Asheville. But for now, live in Asheville, Caitlin Penner, News 13.
We are getting word from our live crews about breaking news right now.
News 13's Frank Crocker is standing by live in downtown Asheville. And Frank, what's the latest?
We're coming back to you. Probably, well, we're farther away, not probably, we had to leave farther away since the last time. We're about, well, you can see the crowd coming too. We're a good block and a half away from where we were before. I'm sorry that we've been washing tear gas out of our eyes. That's all I can tell you. It's in the air. It's wafting into everybody's faces, and we've just been trying to get around and get into some clear air. But let me tell you, there has been a great deal of activity here tonight, perhaps more than last night. Volleys of tear gas, volleys of smoke bombs coming from police after, I have to say, we witnessed it, after things were thrown at them. That got everything moving. The crowd dispersed, the crowd came back in, the crowd dispersed. It was just a dance back and forth. Rubber bullets fired as well. That's what one of them looks like, and they come out of a rapid-fire small rifle, and they were pushing people back away from them, away from APD. And it's just been I said it before, it's been an angry night, People obviously upset over what happened with George Floyd in Minneapolis, and that anger's transferred itself all the way here to Asheville, North Carolina, and folks are just they've scattered. I do not know if they're going to go back down to the police department. We're going to hang back here for a little while and try to figure out a safe time for us, and then we'll go back down there and try to give you an idea of where it all stands right now. But I can tell you from where we are, once again, you can see there are protesters out here. They've all fanned out. They're walking down the blocks, and we saw one panel van with Black Lives Matter spray painted across it. We've been told by protesters if there's other damage through downtown. We can't confirm that, but we've been told that that was just a small part of the vandalism that has apparently occurred here tonight. So we're gonna wrap it up. We'll head back down to APD and try to bring you another update. For now, Frank Crocker live in Asheville.
All right, it's a chaotic night in downtown Asheville right now. Police clashing with demonstrators outside the Asheville Police Department. And Frank Crocker, thanks for that report.
And News 13's Caitlin Pinter is down there right now. Caitlin?
Yeah, so in the last, say, 3 to 5 minutes, we've been hearing over the intercom for people to clear this area. And if you look down here, really it has been cleared again in the last probably 3 minutes, because 5 minutes ago we were still hearing significant explosions and seeing some kind of significant fire from those explosions here in front of the Asheville Police Station. People are now moving back toward the Vance Monument area. We can't see exactly really past the Asheville Fire Station here, but we are seeing a movement of people back toward that way, and it's been a good 5 minutes since we last heard an explosion here in the area of the Asheville Police Station. But we're going to continue to stay here and continue to update with you with what's been going on here. But for now, live in Asheville, Caitlin Pinter, News 13.
Thank you, Caitlin. And still an active scene in Asheville right now. We'll be back in just a few moments. Tonight, we are still keeping a close eye on the protest in downtown Asheville.
News 13's Frank Crocker has been there all evening long. He's near where all the activity is. Frank, what's happening where you are now?
We're going to give you an idea how far away from this whole scene we are right now. We're going to walk you down. We're at Spruce and Walnut, right near Asheville Community Theater, Thomas Wolfe House. We're headed back toward the City County building and the municipal building, APD, and Asheville Fire. I'm just going to walk you up the street here. The streets are pretty much cleared out. People are gathered around, taking a little bit of shelter in alleys. As we told you before, folks are offering water bottles to get tear gas out of eyes, the sting out of their eyes, and have pretty much moved away, it seems, from Asheville Police Department. We're just now coming up on the park, and okay, we need to get out of the way here. Okay, we're going to stay right here for this. And the cars are moving around, and we don't want to get in the way of any cars. We can tell you that for now, we heard one flashbang probably about 5 minutes ago. Otherwise, it's been very quiet. We've seen people headed back downtown, and we're going to continue to try to get back to APD to see what's happening down there right now. Reporting live in Asheville, Frank Crocker, News 13.
Our crews are spread out across the area, tracking all this action tonight.
That's right. News 13's Caitlin Pinter is live in the downtown area of the police department, where there is also some other activity happening there. Caitlin, you were right close to where these flashbangs were going off.
Right, and in the last 3 minutes, we've seen 2 large fireworks over there in the area of the Vance Monument. I've seen one person throw what looks to be a frozen water bottle in this area, but look right here at this line of police. Here, it has crossed over to Market Street, and they are blocking off this area. Now also take a look down here and show you some of these little burn spots that we found. Come over here. If you look down here, there's a burn spot right here. And if you look really down this whole street, you can see there's another one right beyond that white line right there. Because really, for the last hour, this is where a majority of the action has been taking place, right here in front of the Asheville Police Station. For now, live in Asheville, Caitlin Penter, News 13.
All right, thanks, Caitlin. We appreciate that. Now let's get some video we want to show you that came from the beginning of all of this when this clash first happened.
Let's listen in. It was a popping noise right at the beginning there that we aren't sure exactly what it was.
You can see the flash there in the background.
But it was near the Asheville Police Department, from my understanding.
Right.
I also understand that the Asheville Police, for a second night in a row, kneeled and went to a knee there with
Right.
the other protesters before something happened that sparked all of this.
Yes, they were there for hours, face to face on the street, right out in front of the Vance Monument near the police department. And then, as you say, something triggered some chaos and some clash between the police and protesters. And then we heard what sounded like a flashbang and people running. And of course, Frank Crocker has been nearby that area. And of course, he was reporting that they were getting tear gas wafting their way, so they had to move back. So there's the possibility that someone had thrown a tear bomb or tear gas bomb of some sort.
Firecracker or something toward the police is
and
what we were
it seemed as though
told.
there might have been firecrackers going off. He mentioned as well as that there were rubber bullets were being fired. So as the nights go on, it seems as though we're beginning to see a more escalation of this clash and this violence with protesters.
Very scary to watch in the downtown streets of Asheville. I mean, who would think it, right? I mean, who would have thought that when you watch this video and you see what's happening, your heart breaks, you know? We do have some more
here
video
you can
there.
you can see the smoke on the street there and people walking with their hands up in the lower right part of your screen. Probably it appears as though they're just trying to let folks know that their hands are free and that they don't want to be attacked, whatever it may be. And then you can see the smoke continuing to just waft through the streets as the crowds begin to dissipate. That looks like it's right in front of the Asheville Police Department as you're looking up the street. And when these pictures were taken, you can see fireworks shooting across the air in that picture right there. So a lot of the activity was happening right close to the Asheville Police Department.
Absolutely. News 13's Caitlin Penter is joining us again live. Caitlin?
Asheville Police Station, and another one of those really large fireworks was again shot off in the direction of the Vance Monument. It appears that is where the group of people have now congregated. People have been moving around though still, but most people have been going over there, and again, lots of little explosions really in the last 60 seconds here in front of the Asheville Police. The police are still, we see a couple more, a couple more firecrackers right here. You see the smoke? A couple more. It appears that there are protesters running through this smoke right here. Something was just thrown. Again, significant smoke from whatever was just fired right here. Police are still staying in this line right in front of this smoke. And that is at Market Street right there, Asheville Fire and Police Station. I hear people walking around asking each other if they're okay right now. Again, a big plume of smoke. We've yet to hear another explosion here. Big crowd of people moving in this smoke right here. And again, we have state police are lined up basically to that point where that smoke is right there. And we do see it starting to clear a little bit at this point. People again are saying they're moving back, they're firing these small explosions, but then moving back to the area of the Vance Monument. Now we see people moving back this way. And we'll continue to watch this here. But for now, live in Asheville, Caitlin Penter, News 13. Okay, we're gonna keep going actually. Let's see if we can walk up the street a little bit to see what we can see. And again, this really culminates an hour of really tense moments here. Oh, you can really get a good shot of the police right here. You can get a really good shot. At least 30 of them lined up here. You see state police, Asheville police on bikes. This whole night there have been people on this second level up here. I just heard a couple more pops down here. Let's move down here. Let's see. Okay. If you look to the top right of the screen, it appears that there is some kind of smoke. Have heard about 10 pops down here. 10 pops. Still significant smoke. Let's move a little bit more. Let's move a little bit more down and show you what we're looking at. There's still people oh! Something was just fired in the direction over here. Some kind of firecrackers have been fired this way. There's a man on a bike. Come down here. A man on a bike right down here that appears to be in the line of whatever is being fired right now. You can see him right in the smoke. He appears to be kneeling behind his bicycle here. There are some people with their hands up down there on the other side of the road. Something else was just fired. They appear to be throwing, I think it's a water bottle. We've been seeing those for the last 2 days down here. Some kind of smoke also closer toward that Vance Monument area as well. Let's see if we can move a little bit back this way to see if we can see anything else. Okay, we're walking up again. This is Spruce Street, just seeing what we can see from the back. We see a little crowd of people if you scan around. Again, lots of movement in the last hour. People are really surrounding this entire area. Should we try to walk up? We're going to walk up a little bit.
Nope.
There were some more shots. Let's go back down this way. So this really has become the center of these small explosions, especially in the last hour, but in the last 10 minutes, it really seems like there has been fire coming from both sides, some kind of pellet, some kind of firecracker-like explosion. Okay. And again, we're down here right in front of Asheville Police, continuing to monitor this for you. But for now, live in Asheville, Caitlin Penter, News 13.
Very intense situation there now.
Yeah, lots of gunfire and bangs, or maybe possibly gunfire or fireworks. We really don't know. Frank Crocker has been watching what's been going down there as well. And Frank, you've moved closer to the center city. Can you hear us, Frank?
We have made it to the corner of Spruce and College that's just above the Asheville Police Department. You can see that there are still protesters on the move coming up and moving out, fanning out into downtown. We can tell you we've still heard rubber bullets being fired, and presumably at some folks who are still down here in the park who are kind of trying to hold their ground, I guess. And the police are still responding to that. You look down at APD from here, and it doesn't look like there's really much activity going on right out in front. Once again, there's smoke in the air, and we're not smelling tear gas anymore. We think they may be smoke grenades. The police occasionally will use the smoke grenades in combination with the tear gas. People see the smoke, they run away from it. So we have smelled a great deal of tear gas tonight, gotten it in our eyes, had to rinse it out. So right now it seems pretty calm. Again, we've seen people on the move and moving downtown. Had a couple of armored trucks. Well, there's some people coming out.
Let's go, they're arresting people, let's go!
They say they're down there arresting people. As you recall, there were only 4 arrests last night, all local folks. But these people are scattering right now, saying, hey, they're arresting people down there. So we're obviously going to hold our ground. Every time you think everything's going to calm down, it just fires back up again. So we're going to throw it back. We're going to throw it back to you now, and keep an eye on the situation. Obviously, we'll stick with this, and we'll get back to you when we have something new to report. It's a fluid situation, folks. So we think that we will. We're still waiting for a resolution in all this. We're reporting live downtown. Frank Crocker, News 13.
Let's go live now to Caitlin Pinter, who's also in downtown Asheville.
Yes, a lot more movement here in the last 5 minutes. We first saw Asheville police on bikes move that way, and then we saw about 20 to 25 people running this way back up here near the Buncombe County Courthouse. And then after we saw them run, those Asheville police on those bikes actually just came back in within that line of state police and Asheville police lining this area right now. I'm trying to see if we can see any more movement. It looks like people are walking back. It's kind of been a theme of the night. People will disperse back this way, but then will run back up to the Vance Monument area. Have not heard any significant explosions in the last couple of minutes. I haven't seen any significant smoke in the last couple of minutes. But the real thing here has been the movement that we have been seeing in this surrounding area. Let's see if we can walk up a little bit this way. Again, we still have this line right here. They have not moved. They have not moved. I'm hearing some significant shouting over in the Vance Monument area. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I do hear some shouting over near that direction, if you can see where my arm is pointing. Okay. It's pretty quiet on this side. I guess we can turn around and show you this, really the blockade that's happened. This has happened within the last hour and a half, though, since everything started happening. There is an Asheville police car right here. There's an Asheville police van down the way, and they actually have blocked off this other street as well that's perpendicular to Spruce Street right here. So really, this entire area is covered by state police and Asheville police. It has been since everything started again about an hour and a half ago. Let's walk back down one more time just to see if we can see anything else to show you. There actually have been people who have been picking up some of the remnants of what's been left over from some of the firing here. I've seen at least 2 people down here with trash bags picking stuff up. I'm gonna walk down a little bit more just to see. Okay. Yep, and it's really become much more peaceful here in the last minute or so. But for now, live in Asheville, Caitlin Pinter, News 13.
Well, all right, thank you, Caitlin. Obviously a night of chaotic activity in downtown Asheville. Of course, maybe first light before we know what really happened.
Absolutely. Stay safe, everybody. Have a great night.